Welcome in, everybody. This is the Who Fat to Play podcast. I am Austin, and as you guys know, Ryan is out for the week. So after a couple of phone calls that weren't returned to the Kelsey brothers and ESPN and Fox Sports 1 and, well, basically anybody of any relevance, I went ahead and took the loss and brought in my dad.
Best you can get, that's the best you can get. Sorry.
Disappointments all around. That's what you guys are used to. So, for this week and this week only, I am Austin. That is Mike. This is the Too Fat to Play podcast, brought to you by our good friends over at Sticks Golf Lounge. Go in, have a drink, have a round, tell them we sent you. They still probably won't give a damn about that. But, hey, fuck it. We're here for it. Week 4 is behind us, and unfortunately in front of a lot of guys. Now the injury timetable starts. Lost several key players this weekend. Malik Neighbors goes down. Tyreek Hill goes down. Appears the Niners are again in danger, now being without Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Brock Purdy for this week. It's going to be a struggle for some teams. Heck, Lamar might miss this week. There's going to be a lot of shuffling across the NFL just to get teams on the field, it appears. But first and foremost, the most important segment, apparently, the Too Fat and Friends Fantasy Football Update. And this week, it is important because I'm one step closer to regaining my rightful place. Ryan lost again, and don't worry, we'll spend just a little longer on that game here in a minute. But because we enjoy things around here a little more than we probably should, we're going to start with Ryan's game. Ryan put up a measly, shit-tacular 154 points, which you're like, hey, Austin, you only scored 155, and you would be correct, but I won, and his 154 lost by almost 70 points to Brett. He talked a lot of shit, and Brett absolutely dog-walked his ass. 220 to 154. Ryan, I hope you enjoyed the L. Brett, congrats on victory number 1 in the exact place we thought you would get it. Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that one, Ryan. I took down Long Duck Dong, 154 to 127. Two Girls, One Cup takes down D-Wack with a 173 to 111. What are you doing, Stepboro? Lou, 500 as always. Loses to Beefsteak, 179 to 150. Number 1 Tallywhacker takes down Two Thumbs Up, thankfully, because this now puts the top of the league at 3-1. 146 to 132, and
I'm the league doormat, okay? All you got to do is play me, and you're guaranteed to win.
The good news is you would have won that matchup. You'd have beaten Ryan. You would have won my matchup. Unfortunately, Kareem Pies and his auto draft team thumped your ass 185 to 171.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. With one player not even playing.
Well,
again, like I said, I'm just the league doormat. I've given up 711 points so far. That's been what's scored against me. I'm outpacing everybody.
I mean, on the bright side, second place is like 660.
Yeah, exactly.
Going into the standings, that leaves in first place Beefsteak. Rounding out the 3-1s are Long Duck Dong, Two Thumbs Up, and myself. And since I've obviously had the team name of Brown, Neighbors, and Parsons, first of all, Parsons is about to get cut. Not scoring the way I thought he would. And Neighbors going down. I have changed my team name now to Brown Neighbors Down. 2-2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-2 teams. Yep. Ryan is the top of the 2-2 pile. Green Pies, 2 girls, 1 cup. What are you doing, Stepboro? Number 1 Tallywhacker. The 1-3 teams, Riley Reed option jumps up a spot. Team DWAC. And then Glory be to the A-Gap, holding down the toilet bowl crown at 0-4.
Hey, I'm going for a repeat.
You haven't won a game since like week 12 of last season, and it might go back further than that. I'm honestly gonna take a look because it's been a minute since you have secured a victory.
Yeah, it has.
God, you gotta suck.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I put in somebody, they go down in the first quarter. Nick Bosa, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
All my big dogs always go down in the first quarter and don't return. Then I'm on the waiver wire.
Which is a desolate fucking landscape right now.
Yes.
Between injuries and then, of course, everybody having their roster, it's rough out there. I mean, hell, I just picked up Woody Marks. Drop Nick Chubb to pick up Woody Marks. Words you never thought you'd hear. Mostly because going into this week, I didn't know who the fuck Woody Marks was.
Yeah.
All right, week 4. This did not go well for your boy. Game picks were rough. Started out with a win. Seattle escaping Arizona. Seattle controlled that game for 3.5 quarters. Arizona makes a run, gets it to overtime, and then an ugly overtime. Seattle pulls out the dub 23-20. Sunday, Dublin, Ireland. Minnesota loses to Pittsburgh in what was honestly a pretty fantastic game. Those overseas games always kind of, they worry me.
Aaron Rodgers was playing like he was 30, not 40.
And with the apparent injuries to the, we'll just call it the AFC North.
That's fair.
The Steelers have to be firmly in the driver's seat of that division.
I would agree.
I mean, they're 3-1. The Ravens are 1-3. And if they have any elongated time without Lamar, that team's going to fall quickly because I'm not sure they have 11 starters in the game right now. They are decimated by injuries. They lost the captain of their defense this week in Roquan. If Lamar's down, Derrick Henry hasn't been right. Their wide receiver core hasn't been fantastic. Mark Andrews has looked more like himself. They got Likely back, but if you have to rely on Cooper Rush to get you some wins here,
yeah, and I don't know how fast Cooper Rush runs, but when Staley goes down, you Cooper Rush better find some speed quick.
Yeah, say beat up offensive line, beat up quarterback room. The entire defensive front is out. The line, you just lost both of your linebackers. I mean, if you're missing as much as they are,
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah,
Kyle
Hamilton's been hurt.
Questionable. He's questionable for this week. So
yeah, the Ravens are in big trouble.
Guess who has Kyle Hamilton?
Yeah. I was really mad when you drafted him. Actually, I'm pretty sure I yelled "fuck" at you on this podcast when you drafted him. Yeah. So the Ravens, I hope you get healthy because this could turn into a rough slide. That's gonna.
Only thing the one thing they've got going for them is that they have a bye in 2 weeks. So if they can, they got Houston. I know they play Houston this week, and then I don't remember who the other team. Maybe it was it wasn't Cleveland. I don't remember who the second one was, but they were teams that are struggling also. So if they can get by the next 2 weeks, because
if they can escape 500 the next 2 weeks,
because if If they can keep Lamar out, because them hamstrings, we all know they can be very tricky. You can
Hamstrings and calves.
yes.
You hurt them once. Promotes other problems.
Ask San Francisco.
Or toes.
Sorry, Ryan.
I'm not. Atlanta. I'm going to pose to you the first too fat question. I do this to Ryan. He does it to me. So I'm going to pose it to you. What is Atlanta?
Heckle and jive.
That team
Jekyll
lost.
and Hyde, I mean.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
You're fitting right in around
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
They lost 30-0 to Carolina and then beat the Commanders 34-27. Granted, the Commanders had Mariota starting. Mariota did not look good. But they're also missing Terry McLaurin, so that weighs in. Based on the week prior, I didn't think the Falcons could beat K-State.
That's harsh.
Felt fair. I mean,
I didn't say you're wrong. I just said that was harsh.
I think Carolina might squeak by.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the Falcons. Granted, we all know that roster is loaded with talent.
Oh yeah, the offense is absolutely loaded.
But I just don't understand. I don't get what the Falcons are. How do you lose to Carolina the way you did? Not just losing, getting the doors beat off you, and then turn around and beat the Commanders, who they're definitively not the favorites in the NFC East because the Eagles are the fucking Eagles. But
yeah,
I just don't that. That's a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, again, they get Jaden back this week. I think that's a very different game with Jaden Daniels at quarterback. But I did not see Atlanta being able to do.
No.
Hell, I didn't see them being able to put 34 points. I wasn't sure they were going to score 34 points over the next 3 weeks. The Bills 31-19 over the Saints.
And that wasn't until late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Saints hung around for a lot longer than anybody thought they would, meaning they showed up to the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's early for MVPs and shit. Obviously, I think right now runaway favorite for MVP has to be Josh.
I agree.
And there's just nobody else has played
out.
to it. I think realistically, your two options right now are Josh Allen and Puka Nacua. That's the only two options that I can come up with.
I agree with that.
Because obviously Lamar's not it. He's 1-3
and
hasn't looked great. The running stats obviously aren't there.
They look good the first 3 quarters against Buffalo, but after that, it hasn't been very pretty.
Yeah, and Mahomes isn't on MVP pace. He finally had a Mahomes-like game this week. And you want to throw the other 4-0 quarterback out there. Jalen is not in the MVP running.
No.
The dude's got 2 games of 100-ish yards.
They didn't complete a pass in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess, I don't know, maybe put Eagles left tackle, Jordan Mailata, in there. The center, because he can snap the ball and false start at the same time. So, I don't know, although I will say, and we'll get to it, the fake tush push to the Saquon sweep. Fuck the Eagles so fucking much, but god damn it. If you're gonna do it, fucking, I hate you, because that makes it even more impossible to stop.
Yeah.
Because you drop 11 guys in the box, and then your linebacker has to go, hey, Saquon's running over there with the ball. Guess what you're not going to fucking do?
Just wave at him.
Fucking wild. Cleveland has benched Joe Flacco deservingly. That's over. Dylan Gabriel has been inserted as the starter after they lost 34-10 to the Lions. I think the Lions right now have reclaimed that top spot as favorites out of the NFC. I think that team beats the Eagles handedly. The Eagles handedly for the Eagles. The Eagles are reminding me a lot of what the Chiefs were last year. You're not going to beat the brakes off the Eagles, but you can handle that team and the score remain close. And I feel like that's what Detroit can do.
But the thing is with the Eagles, just like the Chiefs, if that game's a one-score game, they're going to find a way.
They're going to find a way to win it.
They're going to find a way to win it. And I had to giggle because they were all that last year when the Chiefs blocked the field goal against Denver. All them lucky SOBs, blah, 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 blah. What the hell do the Eagles do?
Yeah. The Eagles are having the exact same season. They have lucked into 4 wins.
Yeah, they should be. They could be. They are. They are half an inch from being 0-4.
Yeah. They have had the luck that the Chiefs had.
Yeah.
And to be that guy, they've also had the ref calls that you accused Kansas City of.
Yep, I agree.
The Eagles have had all of it. So, do with that what you will. But, yeah, no, the Eagles are having the exact same season that the Chiefs were having last year.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, I don't know. That team is full of monsters.
Detroit's going to be just like last year. It's all going to be about the injuries. If they can avoid the injuries that killed them at the end of the year.
Yeah, if they can stay healthy, and I think, and Madden's made that comment multiple times, that team getting caught in the playoffs the way they did, that ain't going to happen again.
No, I agree. They overlooked.
They looked right past Washington. Yeah, they were staring down Philly, and Washington punched them in the dick.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a long ways from ruling Washington out of this thing, but I think Philly and Detroit, that's the highway we're on, and I'll be rooting for Detroit the whole goddamn way.
Green Bay, as long as they stay out of 2-minute offenses.
I was feeling real good about Green Bay there for the first couple of weeks. I am not feeling so great about Green Bay.
The overtime looked really bad.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. When they got the ball, the first 2 minutes of the overtime, they looked like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
From the 2-minute in, they looked like a high school team that had no idea what the hell where they were supposed to be, what the hell they were supposed to do.
Yeah, and I don't know what the hell they were doing. I don't know what led. I don't know what the play calling was. I don't know if they were thinking it was playoff rules, where if you don't score and haven't made a scoring attempt, clock keeps going. That game was about to end in a tie. Wait, it did end in a tie. But like it was, yeah. The end of regulation and the overtime were terrible. New England beats the dog shit out of Carolina, like everybody else except for Atlanta. Atlanta, please fucking explain. Please. I don't understand. That is an 0-17 team. What the hell happened? I don't get it. New England, I would say, is a similar team structure. The offense isn't as talented. The quarterback's a lot better. But
he can see over the line. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
I was talking about Atlanta, but yeah, effectively. But they handled them. Atlanta got blown out. I don't understand. The Falcons realistically should be competing for the division. I think Tampa Bay is clearly the better team.
I agree.
But Atlanta should be in the competition. And it's the NFC South. It's going to come down to Week 17.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That nobody in that division just wins cleanly. But Atlanta, what the fuck? I don't know. New England, Drake May looks good. That offense looks like it's starting to finally get it pieced together. The defense is adequate. I mean, they're not going to be a playoff team this year, but I think next year, if they can have a decent draft, that team's going to turn into something.
I think they're going to be a big spoiler.
Yeah,
towards the end of the year, they're going to mess up some playoff teams. Yeah. Because of the fact that
they're
going to be dangerous enough that if you.
So I would put them as a little better than any given Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that team's going to cause somebody a fucking heartache somewhere.
You peek past them and you're going to get beat.
Yeah. And the upset of the week, of the year, of ever? The 3-0 Los Angeles Chargers go into MetLife Stadium against the 0-3 New York Giants, who've just made a quarterback change to, admittedly, the only quarterback I thought was worthy of taking with the number 1 overall pick. And the Giants beat the Chargers 21-18. Hold on, back up. The Giants beat the Chargers. The Giants just lost to Kansas City 22-8 with Russell Wilson as starting at quarterback. We all know what Russell Wilson is. There's no secrets. And I did see somebody officially made the comment, and I think I know as a Chiefs fan, it's kind of not right to ride with Tony Gonzalez anymore. Has Russell Wilson played himself out of the Hall of Fame? And we were having a similar conversation the other night.
That conversation the other night,
where he's definitely played himself out of first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Has he outright played himself out of the Hall of Fame?
There's definitely going to be there'll be some serious questions when that time comes because of what's happened in the last 3 years.
Since he's gone to Denver, what has transpired? You can definitively look at it. You know, with the Patriots, you have, is it Brady or is it Belichick? Mm-hmm. With the Chiefs, you have, is it Mahomes, is it Reed? I would say with the Eagles, there's a conversation to be had. Is it dipshit McGee or Jalen Hurts? Fuck Nick Sirianni. Dude looks like a petulant child with a beard. That is the most punchable face I have ever seen. Like,
okay. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Like, if I had the choice to save a puppy or run him over, I would run him over twice. Hate that guy. The crybaby little bitch. But, back to the point at hand. Jackson Dart comes in. I wouldn't say he looked otherworldly. He didn't play some amazing football game. Abdul Carter showed why he was the best player in the draft.
I agree. Abdul Carter's going to be a player.
That defensive line is real. I mean, to be quite frank, thank God he got hurt last week. Because I'm not saying our offensive line isn't good. But those guys are a fucking problem.
Oh, yeah. You got Carter on one side and Burns on the other. That's a...
Yeah. And then, oh, by the way, Kayvon Thibodeau is hanging around.
And then you got that little bitty fella that sits over the center.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as...
Sexy Dexy.
Sexy Dexy, yeah. He's just a little bitty fella.
Just a little guy. And of course, the Chargers, I'll have to reiterate, because my take at the beginning of the season, the Chargers might miss the playoffs because they lost Rashawn Slater. And then Joe Alt became all-world left tackle. Well, now Joe Alt's out. So, if I may revert back, the Chargers may miss the playoffs because they have suffered potentially two of the most consequential injuries in all of football, losing two guys that have proven. I think you can look at the Chargers and ask the legitimate question: do they have two top 5 left tackles in the NFL right now?
It would definitely be an argument.
There's arguments to be had. I'm gonna put Jordan Mailata up there. Like there's guys that are gonna be up there. But the way Joe Alt filled in for Rashawn Slater, you can make the argument they have two top 5 left tackles.
I agree.
Which, again, like I said last week, is going to make for an interesting situation when time comes, because somebody's going to have to be Lane Johnson.
Yep.
Or somebody's going to have to leave. Those are going to be the options.
Slater just signed a 4-year deal, so it don't look like you don't see him leaving anytime soon.
Yeah. Joe Alt's younger, though.
Joe Alt's younger, but
so it's going to be interesting for the Chargers to see what happens there. But now that offensive line is in trouble. You've lost your 2 best players on that line. You still have a solid centerpiece at center, but you've got a lot of issues now, not having guys to protect the edge.
And you got 3 teams in the conference that have got very good defensive lines.
Now, 2.5. We have to rely on George Karlaftis, so I'm not willing to go there yet.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm not ready to be wrong. I might be, but I am not ready to be. He's growing on me. And as I've said, if he was a 3rd-round pick, I'd fucking love him. As a 1st-round pick, no, because 1st-round picks are supposed to look like Josh Simmons, not George Karlaftis. Hell, if George was a 2nd-round pick, if him and Chris Jones were both taken at the 65th overall pick, I'm like, hey, we did it again. That's a 1st-round pick. It means different things. The end result may be the same, but it fucking means different things. It's different. So, yeah, and it sucks that, and going back to the Giants, it sucks that they lost Neighbors, because that trio of Dart, Neighbors, and Scadaboo, that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it does. Scadaboo is a high energy.
He's Mike Allstott.
He is. He is a reincarnation of Mike Allstott. He is, because you don't just tackle the guy.
No, you don't just run into him and get him down. He's 5'2.5", which is still taller than Bryce Young, but he's a fucking bowling ball.
Yeah, he is.
Like, at this point, if there's one thing I could bring back from olden days football, it's the stupid tall shoulder pads, because he would look perfect.
Oh, yes. He had Christian Okoye's shoulder
Christian
pads.
Okoye shoulder pads, the fucking the neck pad that extended, as a shark fin above the helmet. Yeah. You can't tell me that guy would not fit.
He would fit. He would be today's version of Christian Okoye, without a doubt.
Just a little beef bowling ball, and
because all he wants to do is run over somebody.
Yeah.
And he finds great thrill in doing it.
He's Isaiah Pacheco, but the size to do it. It's stupid, and I'm, again, not willing to admit that I was wrong. He might be an NFL running back. Just maybe. God damn it. I'm getting tired of this shit. Philadelphia beats Tampa Bay 31-25. I mean, we've covered this to an extent already. Philadelphia is escaping. But again, as Chiefs fans, it's hard to be like, you're not any good. That won't get you anywhere, because it got us to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2 of them, actually.
Yeah.
They find ways to win. Please stop trying. And I understand. Me and Ryan have sat here and say quarterback wins are a stat. Good, bad, or indifferent. Quarterback wins are a stat. However, amongst what most people consider the top 7 quarterbacks in the league, Jalen Hurts' record against those guys is like 12-2. The only two losses against those big dogs, the Lions, the Bills, the Ravens, the only 2 losses Jalen Hurts has are the Chiefs, who he has a winning record against of 3-2. Well, miss me with his quarterback wins bullshit, okay? That is the most stacked roster in all of football. Top to bottom, left to right, and they have the most unstoppable play, which we're still not officiating. The Eagles are going to be good this year. They're going to have a good record. They're going to be in the playoffs. They might have the 1 seed. That team's not going to getting back to the Super Bowl. I don't unless the Lions shove a fucking sword through their dicks again. That team's not making the Super Bowl. Grant, the real interesting thing is, does that team have A.J. Brown after the fucking trade deadline?
That's a real interesting question, and there's a lot of people that are saying, there's a lot of the talking heads have said, what happens if AJ does request a trade before the trade deadline? What takes place?
I mean, I fail to see that they trade him.
I do too. I don't see him trade.
I don't think they concede to that. I really don't. I mean, I
just give him a book
for AJ. And I mean, to that point, AJ wants to win. And they made the comments last year. I'm here to win, even if it doesn't always look the way I want it to. That dude's got the same amount of fantasy points as Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. Ask me how I know.
Yeah. There's gonna come a time that dude's making a shit ton of money, and he wants to be the reason. There's gonna come. It's gonna break at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Does it happen this year? I don't know. As long as they're winning, I think you can put some of it at bay. If they start losing,
they hit a 3-game losing streak.
It's gonna get loud.
It's gonna get real loud. And if it's the 3-game losing streak and he has 10 catches for less than 100 yards in those 3 games, it's gonna get real loud. Yeah. There won't be no cryptic.
Yeah, the cryptic tweets won't be a problem. Tampa Bay, I mean, I think you can. It was great to see Chris Godwin back on the field, which is something I feel like I've said too many goddamn times in my life. Without Mike Evans, it looks a little different. Still, runaway rookie of the year, Emeka Egbuka.
Oh yeah.
That dude is. I think he's the only wide receiver pushing offensive player of the year against Puka right now. To me, that dude is otherworldly with what he's doing. The Bucs are, I mean, we all know what the Bucs are. They're that team. They're gonna have a hiccup here or there where you're like, how the hell did that happen? Realistically, that team should probably be around 12-5. I think they still end up probably 10 or 11 wins. Just because
they're gonna pull off something. They're gonna beat a team that they shouldn't beat to make up for the team that make up for the team that they lose to. That you're going like, what the? Yeah. What happened there? I mean, they're gonna come in. They're gonna beat a Detroit. They're gonna come in and beat a team that you're gonna be like, they on paper shouldn't have beat them.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. One of the weird questions for the year: Houston. They beat Tennessee. Tennessee's not good. Cam Ward not looking like the number 1 overall pick. Houston finally gets a game that they've put together. They're 1-3. They win 26-0.
Yeah, but that 26-0 didn't happen until late in the
it was
fourth
not,
quarter. That game was like 16-0 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They didn't put that game away till late in the fourth.
and I still don't understand. It's a situation where, and I said it last week, that team hasn't been right since Tank Dell went down.
Nope, I agree.
They can't seem to get it put together, which doesn't make sense. That team is uber talented on paper. Granted, they did have maybe the worst offensive line rep in the history of offensive lines. I'm not sure if you saw this or not. So, unknown guy, probably never heard of him, plays defensive line for the Titans. His name's Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah, he's a nobody. So line up. He is between center and right guard.
I did see this video.
I don't know who the other defensive tackle for the Titans is. Pardon me. At the snap, the right guard blocks the right tackle. Not the edge off the right tackle. No, the right tackle. The center, left guard, left tackle, tight end, running back all converge on the other defensive tackle. And by the time the center engages that defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons has C.J. Stroud on the ground. 6 guys. 6 full-grown professional football players.
Blocking one guy.
Blocked the backup defensive tackle. While Jeffrey Simmons, again, no-name guy, has nothing but the quarterback in front of him. They opened the seas. I mean, I don't want to be the guy to speak hyperbole here, but I'm pretty sure Felix could have gotten that sack. I'm just kidding. Stroud definitely would have broke out of that tackle. The worst fucking rep I've ever seen an offense run. And I'm including the fake punt that the Colts tried to run, okay? Like, that's included here. Worst offensive rep I've ever seen.
It's getting close to the butt fumble, right?
No, I'm going to say it's worse. It is the worst offensive rep I've ever seen. At least the butt fumble, the quarterback got the fucking ball. I mean, if you want to put this on par with something, this is fucking Phillip Rivers kneeling out the clock and fumbles the snap.
Yep.
This is that bad. The worst offensive line rep ever recorded in all of human history.
It was bad.
There have been soccer teams in fucking England that have faked being a football team that had better offensive line reps. The worst rep in the history of ever. It's almost like when you trade your all-pro left tackle, your offensive line gets worse. Also, it turns out when you only have an all-pro left tackle and the rest of your offensive line is me and you, it appears you have a problem.
I will agree.
Food for thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Indiana Jones takes their first loss to the Rams. Just the Rams. The Rams are the Rams. They're tough to knock out. You don't really understand why. Matthew Stafford is not going to beat the fucking clone allegations. I can tell you that, because that was not the same Matthew Stafford that's been playing for the last fucking 8 months. He looked really good. That wide receiver core finally seems to be figuring out who's what, who's where with Puka and Devontae. I think they're finally starting to put it together. The Colts, I mean, they still had a decent game, just not good enough to beat the good teams.
The pre-celebrated touchdown didn't help.
Correct. Something tells me Adonai Mitchell's probably not as high on the depth chart as he was. That's a bad.
Maybe he'd been watching videos of Jonathan Taylor.
Maybe it's a Colts thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's just you put the shoe on the helmet and dumb shit happens.
You forget where the goal line is.
So, yeah, maybe it's just a shoe thing. For the shoe, I'm going to drop it right before I get to the end zone. And this time, I'm going to drop it out the back of the fucking end zone. Yeah, 80 Mitchell's. Hell, he might be on the trade block. That was pretty fucking atrocious. San Francisco, losing to Jacksonville. I still don't think Jacksonville's good. I'm really confused on what they're doing with Travis Hunter.
I don't.
Because he's a guy that's like, I'm going to play every snap of every game. He's averaging 53% of the total snaps.
I don't remember. I don't know that I've seen a highlight in 4 weeks.
There's not many. He had a really good catch this week. The defensive side of the ball, I think he had 8 snaps last week on the defensive side of the ball. It's not been much. Which to me makes no sense. I've been on here. I've said it. I think he's a better corner than he is wide receiver. And granted, he's made some great plays at wide receiver. That's not. I think he's a number 2 wide receiver. I think he can be your number 1 corner. But there's a lot of confusion for me with Jacksonville. And I feel like Jacksonville's kind of the perfect place for Hunter to land because they have Brian Thomas. They have your number 1 wide receiver. They have a guy that you go, he's going to get the big guy. He's going to get the number 1. The lack of usage doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. The Jags defense is still decent. It's the same kind of defense it was last year. Trevor Lawrence has played well. I'll give him that.
Travis Etienne's running the ball like he did when he came out of college.
Yeah, Etienne's looking good, but the lack of usage for Travis. And again, I'm not calling for him to be the number 1 wide receiver. I'm not calling for him to have the number 1 amount of reps on offense. That's fine. But I don't understand the lack of usage of him. If somebody can explain it, I would appreciate it. Unfortunately, this game was on at the same time the Chiefs game was, so I didn't watch a ton of it. Mm-hmm. I caught the updates on Red Zone whenever the Chiefs went to halftime. San Francisco, I think you rushed Brock back. I think, and then having Juwan and Ricky get hurt, it puts you in a bad spot.
Ayuk's still out.
Ayuk's still down. This week's going to be rough for. On a short week, you're going against the Rams. Mac Jones is going to be your quarterback without as good of a weapon set as he had last time. Mm-mm. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. If Mac comes out and somehow wins this game, or if at least keeps you competitive and plays well, San Francisco's in a position where there could be some words exchanged. Because Brock looked like a 7th round pick on Sunday.
Brock looked like a 7th round pick. Yes.
I'm not saying Mac has looked like a 1st round pick. Mac Jones has made some 1st round pick kind of throws. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when
you've paid Purdy though.
Which means Mac's a lot cheaper. And Mac can't require the contract that Brock's on. So
you've already paid Purdy.
I know. It's going to get interesting. I'm just is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I still think Brock Purdy's a great quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. If the injury brings him down where his ability to escape and make plays on the run, because Mac Jones cannot make the improvisational plays that Brock Purdy does.
No.
Mac Jones probably is a better quarterback in the frame of the pocket. I think his arm's a little stronger. I don't think he's as accurate. I think Brock has him on the accuracy, but Mac Jones can make some of those first-round NFL throws that Brock doesn't seem to make as much. So it could end up getting real weird real quick in San Francisco if Mac somehow wins against the Rams. It's going to be interesting. Kansas City, 37-20 over Baltimore. I've said this to you. I've said this multiple times. It was nice to see the Chiefs beat up on somebody. We haven't really seen that. Hell, they didn't beat up on the Giants the week before. I understand they won by 2 scores. They did not beat up on the Giants. They beat up.
They beat up a team that was beat up. And that's something that Kansas City hasn't done in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They've let teams that were beaten up and had to kick field goals or block extra points or whatever to win a ball game. And this one, I text you start of the fourth quarter that this is kind of weird. The Chiefs are actually taking advantage of the situation, and I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat yelling at the damn television.
Yeah. It was great to see the Chiefs beat up a team. That being said, I know it was the Ravens. I am not out here to go, we're clearly better than the Ravens because we beat them. That Ravens team is missing a ton of guys. So, yes, we handled the team that was beat up. We beat up the team that we should have beat up. Was great to see. By no means, that game doesn't make me go, obviously we're going back to the Super Bowl now.
What that game does do, though, is in 3 weeks, when number 4 comes back, and as long as we don't have a significant injury, number 4 comes back with number 1, number 5, number 9, and that fellow that wears 87.
I think you're forgetting one.
And then there's a 24 back there that...
I think you're forgetting one. That fellow that wears number 80, Tyquan Thornton.
Yep, you're right.
Because, quite frankly, 5 can kick rocks.
80 and 15 have...
They have a chemistry.
They've kind of connected.
And
I will agree.
Again, 5 can kick rocks. Hollywood Brown can fuck all the way off. They have touted his calling card. His entire career has been speed. It's a good thing Juju Smith-Schuster's on the team. Otherwise, he'd probably be the slowest motherfucker out there. Hollywood's calling card hasn't been good since Oklahoma. If Rice comes back and somebody goes, we'll give you a 5th for Hollywood, I'm taking it. In a heartbeat. I am taking that trade. Gladly let Hollywood go for a 5th. If we get to run the receiving core, a healthy receiving core of Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton, that's be your top 3, and Juju as the fucking odd possession guy for some goddamn reason. And then you have Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, and I still don't understand why we don't have Rob Tonyan playing more, because Travis Kelce is not Travis Kelce. Last year he was a step slow. He's at best league average right now. I mean, he still makes those plays because him and Pat are still on that level. But he is an average tight end right now.
I agree.
The lack of usage for Rob Tonyan makes no sense to me because that guy was our best tight end in preseason. He outplayed Noah. He outplayed the 4th tight end, which I can't remember. Wiley. That guy was the best. And the dude's, 27?
Something like that.
He ain't that old.
No, he's not.
The lack of usage for Tonyan honestly kind of irritates me. When the ball gets spread around like it did this past weekend, it's not as big of a deal. Because, I mean, you're gonna give the ball to Noah. You're gonna give him the ball over Rob. I get it. If you're running inside the 20s or inside the 20 going in, I think Rob needs to be on the field.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I think he needs to be on the field.
Yeah, I think between the 20s, put Gray out there.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the 20, if you're going to run 2 tight end, put 85 out there.
Mm-hmm.
I like 85 in the red zone more than I like 83. 83 is a better tight end out in space.
Yes.
I will not argue that. Rob Tonyan is a much better red zone threat than Noah Gray is.
I would agree.
I think he's a little crispier on the routes. I think he big bodies people a little better.
Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna go up against the linebackers a lot better than what Gray is.
Yeah. So
Gray's great against the DBs.
Yeah.
It's the linebackers that
say Noah Gray
with.
is a very near iteration of a younger Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
I think he came in a lot more advanced than what Travis was, and I think Travis has helped him. But when you think about the stylistic tendency, I think Tanyan's a little more Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
And again, inside the 20, give me Rob. I want Rob Tonyan inside the 20.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I think Rob Tonyan inside the 20s would be a definite viable threat. If anything, he's gonna take that outside linebacker or whatever, and he's gonna get rid of him to where then you flip it out there to Rashard Smith and let him run.
Yeah, so because
the linebacker ain't catching him.
Yeah, quick little shit. But yeah, I hope Kansas City captures what they just did and gets it going. I mean, granted, I said it. Mahomes has not had great wide receiver help to this point. You brought back Worthy, and you saw something different. The one thing I do really like is this team is trying to go downfield with the ball. They work you quick, and once they kind of get things going, they're going down the field with the ball, which is not something Mahomes has done the last 2 years.
No,
this
but
team
he's got between Worthy and Thornton.
He's got deep threats.
You've got deep threats that you can't double team.
Yeah.
Because if you double team them, Juju, Kelce, and Hollywood sometimes, but Juju and Kelce are going to kill you.
But you get 4 back where you have to go. They're going that way, but he's number 1.
Mm-hmm. That's when you bring 4 over the middle, because 4 over the middle he is great in that.
Yeah, I mean he's Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very much a younger Michael Thomas. That's the profile I've put him in. I think that's what he excels at. But
as long as we can keep Worthy from running into Kelce, we'll be all right.
Yeah. And I think the most important headline, or quite frankly, the lack thereof, 74 was almost invisible.
I thought maybe they changed. I thought maybe we changed right tackles.
I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't have some egregious no calls. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was almost invisible. You didn't hear his name. You didn't hear his number. He wasn't all over the fucking telecast. I don't know if that's him getting better or
the referees are trying to call his number.
The referees also went, fuck it, it's 74. Like, I'm not sure. But you didn't see a lot of him. And to me, that was probably the brightest part of the afternoon.
But then again, you didn't have the normal front line of Baltimore.
Say when you don't have Kyle Van Noy or Matabuki, because I don't remember the guy's first name, it helps. Say when you're playing Division II defensive ends, and you're allegedly an NFL lineman, yeah, you should be able to handle that. So maybe that's the case. Is he goes, oh, these guys are under league average. I got this.
Yeah.
I can handle this because God forbid they be league average. Because God, we'd have to do shit around that. But our other tackle, though, God, Josh is
on the end around
uh-huh.
to Worthy.
Uh-huh.
Who was leading that?
Uh-huh.
15 yards down the field.
Uh-huh. That's
350-pound lineman.
That's the second most impressive play he's made this year. Because the rundown that he had in week 2?
Yeah.
That's the most impressive play I've seen the Chiefs make in a long time. I mean, to me, that is up there with the DK chase down as some of the greatest chase downs I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because that fat motherfucker came across the field 50 yards on an angle and caught a defensive back. I love that guy.
Yeah.
It's so nice when the Chiefs step up to the draft and I go, this guy, this name, and they draft him, and weirdly, he's good. I can think of a couple of guys that I did the exact opposite of, and here we fucking are, and I don't want to mention any names, Felix, who may or may not ever play an NFL down again, Felix. But Felix is kind of fucking terrible, which you probably could have assumed coming out of K-State. But I digress. Chicago beats the Raiders.
The Raiders out Chicago. Chicago's the one that always gets beat by these blocked extra points, blocked field goals. Chicago always has the one that, does the stupid shit at the end of a ball game.
Yeah.
The Raiders are becoming, they just Raidered.
The Raiders might have chargered.
Yeah, exactly.
God. It was nice to finally see Ashton Genty do something of note. He hasn't done much. Also, don't know if you saw, reverted back to the Michael Myers backfield stance. Oddly enough, turned into a fucking monster after that. Weird. It's when a guy's done something his entire career, and you're like, we're not going to do that anymore. Yeah, fuck you, Chip Kelly. So glad to see he was proven wrong. Unfortunately for them, they have Geno Smith at quarterback. And then, yeah, just the fucking Bears, man. The Bears. That's all I got. I don't really have much more to go off. That is the fucking Bears.
The Bears have got enough talent, and they actually have a guy that actually knows how to run an offense, that they're going to be dangerous. They're going to do Chicago things.
They're going to be an any given Sunday team. They might lose by 30, probably not to fucking Carolina, and then beat a good team the next week.
Yep.
Caleb is not on solid ground as far as I'm concerned. A little shaky, but Roma Dunze, that's a legit number one wide receiver. And then you pair him with DJ Moore. That team's got some pieces around it. I think they've got the right head coach. I think that quarterback's just not good enough. And it's the Bears, so they're fucking cursed.
Yeah, but at least the Bears aren't cursed at quarterback like Chicago, like the Cleveland Browns are.
Have you seen a picture of the infamous jersey?
Yes, I have.
That now doesn't have room.
Yes,
you're gonna have to put patches on the front of that motherfucker.
They're
fucking glorious.
40 quarterbacks roughly since 1999.
Yeah, something like that. It's fucking awful. It's fantastic. Fucking awful. Just wonderful. Although I will say, I don't know, did you see the locker room interview with Shedeur today?
No, I have not.
So Dylan Gabriel gets announced as a starter. And Shedeur Sanders, when asked questions in the interview, literally mimed his answers. Moving his hands, moving his mouth, didn't say a word. Literally didn't say a word.
I noticed that Flacco's the QB too.
Yeah.
It's not Sanders.
They benched Flacco. They didn't park Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I guess in a wheelchair it's hard to park somebody, but I don't disagree with what the Browns did. Shadur, and I've seen that it was a response to something that Rex Ryan said on Monday, but I'm sorry. You want to tell me you're the best quarterback on the team? You want to tell me you're the best quarterback to lead a team? That's not it.
I agree.
You can't tell me. And I think San Francisco has the perfect example of this with Brock Purdy. Brock knew where he was. Anytime somebody talked to him, hey, it is what it is. I'm here to do my job. That's all Shadur needed to say. Hey, I'm happy for Dylan. I'm here to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
And you move on. I'm willing to concede. I think that Shadur might be the best talent that they have at the quarterback position. Also, by willingly saying Dylan Gabriel is the far more NFL-ready quarterback out of the two guys they drafted. Shadur has more talent. He's not 5'11", and I know the kickback you can get on this. He's also not left-handed. Numbers are numbers. Not very many good left-handed quarterbacks.
I can think of one or two in history.
Flutie and Young.
Well, there's one a little older than that, but
yeah.
But you got Darryl LaMonica. You got some other ones in there, but yeah. In recent history, Flutie was okay. He was a long ways from being.
He wasn't a great quarterback.
No, he wasn't. I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer by any means.
Right.
But
I mean, shit. How many left-handed quarterbacks are in the Hall of Fame?
Handful, probably. I mean, you got Young, you got LaMonica. I mean, that's the only two right off the top of my head. There may be a couple that are further back than that, but I mean, Young's probably in the last 40 years. Young's probably the only left-handed quarterback that's in the Hall of Fame that I can think of off the top of my head.
No, there was an obvious one that I wasn't thinking of. There are two left-handed quarterbacks in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. LaMonica wasn't one of them.
Really? Who's the other one?
Kenny Stabler.
Kenny Stabler, the Snake. Again, but you're talking, that's 50 years ago.
Yeah.
That's in the 70s.
And he also didn't make it to the Hall of Fame until 2016.
Right.
So, again, I don't want to discredit a player just because of the hand he throws the ball with. Dylan Gabriel is 5'11", and he's left-handed.
Well, there's a fella in Miami, Florida, that left-handed that struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had
weapons.
Had weapons, because number 10 and number 17 are pretty solid.
Yeah.
Number 10's not too solid right at the moment. But
at least one leg isn't.
Yeah. He probably outrun you and I on that one leg, but
because if I'm running, there's something chasing me. Yeah, like I said, I think Dylan Gabriel is probably the more pro-ready quarterback. Shadur, I think, is the most talented quarterback on that roster. But I don't know that Shadur is an NFL quarterback. And the way his press conference today, to me, just shows that off a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the idea. I don't understand who told him to do that. Whose idea that was, I think it was a mistake. Green Bay, Dallas, the first tie of the season.
Was Green Bay that afraid of Brandon Aubrey?
I think you have to say they were.
That they played the last 2 minutes like they were afraid. They were so worried about giving up time.
Yeah, that they damn near lost the game because yeah.
It's amazing that 1 second was still on the clock with the hometown.
Oh yeah.
Scorekeeper.
Oh yeah. If I'm the hometown, zeros. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And that would have been the way they played the last 2 minutes. That would have almost been poetic.
Yeah.
When that game ended, I was like, and I stayed up for this.
Yeah. I was. I
was glad I didn't have to work Monday.
I did. I was still disappointed when I woke up. Yeah. I mean, we know Dallas is not a good team. And that's why Green Bay makes me go, maybe not. Micah didn't have the night that I was expecting. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Packers right now. I really don't. I don't think. I know I picked them to lose the Super Bowl a couple of weeks ago. I don't think that's going to be the case. That team's got to figure some shit out. They lost Jaden Reed. Changes that offense. Also, I don't understand why they don't use Josh Jacobs more. But, hey, who am I? And then the Monday night doubleheader.
One game was not even worth putting on Saturday afternoon.
Well, yeah. Denver beats Cincinnati 28-3. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm trading for Shedeur Sanders. Because Jake Browning ain't it. Admittedly, Jake Browning's offensive line reminds me of that one offensive rep for the Texans.
That's fair.
But I hate to say I'm right. I said earlier this season, you take Joe Burrow off that team is a 3-14 team. That team is arguing for the first round pick. They are terrible. They have great weapons at wide receiver. Chase Brown is proving, granted, again, terrible offensive line. It's hard to be a great running back behind a terrible offensive line. I get that. Chase Brown does not look anything close to what he was last year. And quite frankly, when you can't get your wide receivers far enough from the ball to be able to do anything magical, it's hard to do much. And then that's the rare occasion that Jake Browning gets them the football. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm going, would he like to live in a different fucking part of Ohio? Understand, it's still Ohio. It all sucks. Nothing's going to be good in Ohio. We know that.
When your play pass is hike the ball, take 3 steps, and duck. I don't care who you got back there. Look at the Super Bowl and the 2 Super Bowl losses the Chiefs have had.
Yeah.
Look what's happened when your play pass and your play options or pass options are 1, 2, 3 duck.
Yeah. No, I agree. But again, Jake Browning's not exactly Lamar back there.
No.
Granted, Shedeur also believes he's the greatest throwing quarterback of all time and probably wouldn't run anyhow. But hey, maybe he would try. That team's a strap in because you're not bringing Joe Burrow back this season.
At least on 4th down, he doesn't throw it at the goalpost.
Russell Wilson's not playing quarterback now anymore, now is he? If I'm Cincy, I'm calling the Giants. Hey, Jameis Winston's your number 3. The best quarterback on our roster. Can we have him?
Can we have him? Yeah.
Can we have Shedeur? Can we have any of these backups? Hell, at this point, if I'm then, do you call Chad Henne?
Where's Bailey Zappi at? Is he still on the Chiefs or is he?
No, he's a. Trying to think where I think he's actually now the backup in Cincy. I think he is the backup.
I'm not sure.
If I remember right, hold on. Let me double check. I know he's a backup somewhere. I want to say he's with the Browns.
He's with the Browns.
He's one of the 47 injured Browns quarterbacks.
Yes.
See, Ohio, it all sucks. Case point. Got it. The other Monday night game, Dolphins 27 over the Jets. Hey, Jets. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. You've got a guy that lines up in your green-ass uniform. He wears number 20. If you're not going to use him, can we have him? Because I don't know who the fuck the white fella was. I assumed it was a 2-quarterback set. I couldn't tell you who the other quarterback in New York is. Have no fucking idea. I thought it was a 2-quarterback set. Turns out that's a running back. Still not sure who the fuck it is. When Braylon Allen goes down, I go, well, there goes the Chiefs' idea of trading for Breece Hall. And then Breece Hall's touch rate did not fucking increase. I don't understand. I still like the way Justin Fields looks. The team's not very good right now. Apparently, Miami figured something out. Not that they played great. They figured something out because that looked a hell of a lot better than what they had prior.
That looked a whole lot better than the 3 weeks previous to that.
Then, of course, losing Tyreek to a gruesome leg injury. I don't know how he didn't break it. Dislocated, tore everything. They did manage to fix it in one surgery, which is great. I don't expect he'll play another down of football in Miami. Not 100% sure he plays another down.
At least 33?
33. And now you've got a catastrophic leg injury. I think we're nearing the 5-year mark of him being a Hall of Famer. We're creeping up on that pretty fucking quick, especially with that leg injury.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to go as far as Nick Wright did. I don't know if you heard his take today.
No, I didn't.
Talking about Tyreek, talking about him being a Hall of Famer. He put Tyreek in a position that I just don't have Tyreek in. Tyreek is a great wide receiver. He has been a phenomenal playmaker his entire career. One of the best weapons football has ever seen. Not a polished route runner.
No.
The one big drawback on Tyreek's game. The occasional yips of catching the football and the route running. Nick Wright has in his mind,
that's a scary place to be.
You have Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Tyreek. Those are the only 2 guys he's willing to put above Tyreek Hill.
I mean, the one thing Tyreek's got that the ones below him, the one thing that Tyreek's got that they don't have is the jewelry.
Neither does Randy. Granted, Randy did not need rings to make the Hall of Fame.
No.
I wasn't around to enjoy all. I mean, I was around, but I didn't get to enjoy all of Randy's career. Randy Moss is the greatest wide receiver I have ever seen play football. And I didn't, again, get to thoroughly enjoy his Vikings years. I knew who he was. I knew what he did. I didn't get to really watch it. That is the greatest wide receiver I've ever seen. Obviously, I was not alive for Jerry. Don't hold it against me. Not aging that fast. Wasn't there.
No,
but
and then Jerry Rice by far is the greatest. Don't get me wrong. Jerry Rice is the greatest. Randy Moss is up there. Larry Fitzgerald.
Terrell. T.O.
There was a fellow in Pittsburgh that wasn't too shabby either. That was in the era that the passing game wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
That I would put in that top group.
Yeah.
That fella that wore 88 was pretty salty.
Yeah.
And, is Tyreek in that stratosphere? I don't know. I mean, because you're especially when you're talking about eras between Rice, Moss, Swan. If they played in the same era that Tyreek did, that Tyreek does, what's their numbers?
Look like? And I've always enjoyed the argument because it feels like when you talk about the greatest wide receivers of all time, he gets left off a lot. What is Steve Largent in today's NFL?
That's a good question. Does Largent have the numbers that he had in today's NFL? I don't know.
Because I watched a deal where somebody was listing out greatest Seahawks of all time, and Largent's name didn't come up, and I was like,
whoa, how's that not happen?
I don't really know. It was just a TikTok video of people outside of the stadium. Like, I don't really know. But I'm like, Steve Largent, inarguably, especially based on when he played, is one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
I agree completely. He is well-deserved of the Hall because he is a dominant. You had to attempt to defend him.
Yeah.
He got open, and he didn't outrun you. He didn't. But when it comes talking about routes, he outrouted everybody because he could. I mean, boom, and he could get out of the break so fast and so quick, and he wasn't fast by any means.
Right. He was a lot quicker than fast.
Yes.
I understand common white guy reference, but it's always to me, and that's always the name I think of. That whenever you talk about who are they today, I Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown, those are guys you drop them in football, they're Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyreek is a guy that you drop him in football, he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like the argument and the conversation around Steve Largent.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best wide receivers ever. You don't know it, watch the tape.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure he's a number 2 wide receiver. I'm not sure he's not the best wide receiver in the league. Because quite frankly, he's Puka Nacua.
Only 6 inches shorter and about a half a second to more slower.
Right. But, like, what he does well, I mean, I don't want to be a dick and call him Scotty Miller, so might be the more polished answer. But, like, what he does well is that realm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm always like, you talk about the eras, to me, that one's always one of my favorites to talk about because what he was when he was versus what the NFL is now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me he's not a great wide receiver in today's game.
No, because he could do one thing. If you got it within the catch radius, he caught it.
He lived by the golden rule.
Yeah.
You can touch it, you can catch it.
Yeah.
If it hits your hands, it's a catch.
Yep.
But that one's always been one of my favorites. Should probably hurry this along. I didn't realize where we're at. But Dolphins, I don't know that this is something they build off of. And obviously losing Tyreek Hill, it's going to be interesting to see how they carry on. Moving into week 5. Thursday night, San Francisco, short week against the Rams. I've got the Rams. Honestly, I've got the Rams comfortably, especially with what all San Francisco is going to be missing.
With the injuries San Francisco's got, I mean, all their firepower on offense is missing. Seattle's defense is not a joke by any means.
The Rams.
The Rams' defense is not a joke. They're going to be tough, and
I think this is a hand. I don't know it's a blowout because it is a divisional game, and as we've talked about on this podcast, divisional games rarely end in blowouts. I think you're probably looking 13 points.
I'm saying put right around 2 scores.
Yeah.
10 to 14.
Vikings get their second week in a row overseas, this time in London, and this time they get the Browns starting a rookie quarterback. This doesn't go well. This never goes well that you bring in your rookie quarterback on a damn near winless team or winless team and they win against a better football team, except for it just happened. It's not happening again. I'm taking the Vikings, although the Browns defense fucking terrifies me. And because Carl turned into fucking Carl last week and did some Carl shit, and now Carl's reward for being Carl is Myles fucking Garrett. I'm picking the Vikings knowing that Myles Garrett might break the NFL sack record. And I'm not talking about Derek's sack record.
You're talking Michael Strahan's.
I'm talking about Strahan's sack record. Like he might have 37 sacks. That offensive line's not good. It definitely didn't look good last week.
And Went is not the he's not.
Are you trying to say he's not Lamar back there?
That would be a fair assessment.
Okay.
I don't think he's Lamar by any means.
Yeah. I'm taking the Vikings. They're the better football team. Unfortunately, outside of Justin Jefferson, there's not really a close second player to the greatness of Myles Garrett. Because I realize I said nothing good. There's nothing good in Ohio. Myles Garrett's the argument. You got Myles Garrett in the Hall of Fame. Full stop. Shakily, I'm going to take Minnesota.
I would agree with that. I think the only thing that I think that'll play into Minnesota's hands, and I don't know if they did this or not, I would have thought they would have, is they stayed.
Yeah, they did not. They did not fly home.
So they're going to be used to the time change. They're going to be
they've been over there. I will say Cleveland did fly out on Monday.
Okay.
So the time change shouldn't be that much of a deal. But again, you've been there for 2 weeks. You didn't have a 15-hour flight in the middle of your prep week,
right?
So I think that plays a part, and but I think it's a close game unless Myles Garrett missed the fucking flight. Myles Garrett misses the flight. Just mercy rule it to start the game. Raiders at Indianapolis.
Is there a question?
After surveying the room, I think I'm going to take Indy. Indiana Jones gets it corrected.
Mitchell hangs onto the ball.
I don't think Mitchell gets a pass. I don't think it's whether he hangs onto the ball or not. He might get put in for blocking plays. Like his only job this week might be the inside guy of the 3-man set when they pitch the sweep to Jonathan Taylor, because that's the guy Jonathan Taylor's going to run the fuck over to get through. Weirdest game of the week.
Oh, shit.
Giants at Saints.
Oh, my.
Saints, dog shit. We know that. Competed with the Bills for a little bit there. The Giants might be dog shit. We don't know.
But their defense, that front line of the Giants is not a joke.
I think that's the difference maker.
I think it is too, because I don't think Spencer Rattler. He may be a couple inches shorter for this game's over with.
That's fine. Don't hurt Kamara. I have hopes in the works, okay? Don't hurt Kamara. I'm taking the Giants. And I want Jackson Dart to absolutely shred this defense. I'm going to miss Malik Neighbors real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys at Jets.
You gotta go with the Cowboys because the Jets looked absolutely horrendous.
Which is exactly why I wanted to take the Jets here. I'm taking the Cowboys. I wanted to. I prepped myself to do it, and then I didn't.
If there's, this would be the game.
It would make sense.
It would make sense
because they just tied a team that I thought was one of the best in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So losing to the dog shit Jets would make total fucking sense.
Oh, yes.
Am I going to be shocked when that fucking happens? No, I'm going to be cheering the whole goddamn time. The whole time. I try to be realistic on things. Speaking of realistic, Broncos at Eagles.
Eagles are going to find some stupid
I'm taking the
way.
fucking Broncos.
The Eagles are going to find some stupid-ass way to win a ball game.
Nope. Fuck that shit. Taking the Broncos. Bo Nix is going to figure his shit the fuck out. Cortland Sutton's going to have like 3 tutties, hopefully. Troy Franklin might have a tutty. I don't know. I don't know how you get open on Philadelphia's secondary. Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell is a fucking cheat code. I get it.
I agree.
The Eagles are going to step on their dick. They're going to fuck this up somewhere. I'm going to be right. I'm taking Denver. Probably incorrectly, but that's... Went 8... The computer said I went 8 for 16 last week. I think that's bullshit because one of those games was a fucking tie and they counted that as a loss. Houston at Baltimore.
Whose defense is worse?
That's a real good question. And I will say I think this pick depends on one thing. If Lamar plays, I'm picking the Ravens. If Lamar does not play, I am picking Houston.
I agree. I agree with that completely.
I've got Baltimore selected. That's who I have picked. If Lamar is not in this game, I don't know that Houston has enough to take out Derrick Henry. And I think this would be a Derrick Henry game. I think this is Tennessee Titans Derrick Henry.
If this is, especially if Lamar's not there, this has to be a Derrick Henry game.
Yeah. There's just one problem if it's a Derrick Henry game. Azeez Al-Shaair is a linebacker that plays for the Houston Texans. He's one of them guys.
Oh, yes.
Maybe a little dirty. Not willing to concede that entirely. Maybe. He's one of them guys that Derrick Henry's not going to impose his will on.
No, I agree with you.
Without Lamar, I don't think this team wins this game. So if Lamar does not play, I will be changing my pick here. I'm taking Baltimore for now.
What I worry about is if Lamar does play and injures that hamstring more.
Yeah. I agree.
To me...
If I'm Baltimore, he didn't practice today. From what I've seen, they're not expecting him to practice tomorrow. If he does not practice tomorrow, I am not playing him. Not on that hamstring. I will hold off. You are 1-3. 1-4 is not that much fucking different. At some point in time, you're going to have to win 10 games. 10 out of 11. You're going to have to go on a run.
If you play Lamar and if you win this game, but he goes down late, and that hamstring goes from a grade 1 to a grade 3.
Yeah.
And then he's missing 6-8 weeks.
If you can miss 1 week with Lamar, you miss 1 week.
I said, well, they got Houston, and I don't remember who they play next, and then they have a bye.
Yeah.
Can you get by maybe with Houston? And I don't remember who the other team is, but it's not one of the top. But
it is. It's the Rams.
It is the Rams. If I'm Houston, I think I would set him against Houston and try to have him ready for the Rams.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the way you should do it. Because I'm not putting him back out there. when you have a quarterback that does what Lamar does, and granted the comments I made last week, I still hold true. And to me, this week showed it. Patrick Mahomes was willing to be Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was only trying to be Patrick Mahomes.
But to me, especially in the playoffs, I don't know what it is, but John Harbaugh wants to prove so much that Lamar Jackson is a passer that
he doesn't run. They forego the run game.
They just forget the run game altogether. Yeah. I mean, and the other part of that is the Chiefs have Derrick Henry's number. Yeah. I don't know what it is about the Chiefs.
Steve Spagnuolo knows how to handle Derrick Henry.
I mean, and I was listening to it, and I don't know if it was Colin. I think it was Colin who said something. The Chiefs do not fear Baltimore. Baltimore scares the crap out of everybody else. The Chiefs don't fear him. But because they have a way to defend that run to where it makes
them throw the ball.
Makes them throw the ball. And Lamar's a great player, and he's a good quarterback. But they make Lamar throw that ball deep. And that's where Lamar struggles. He doesn't throw a deep ball very well.
Yeah.
His accuracy goes way down on the deep ball. He's not Russell Wilson, Mahomes, Allen. If you start making him throw the ball 20-plus yards, you've got him because he's going to throw a couple of picks.
Yep.
Because he's either going to get short or he's going to go long. That's just...
I believe the pick that Leo Chenal had, which props to Leo Chenal on that fucking pick. That was a hell of a play. I think he gets frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
He gets flustered. And that's when you pick up his mistakes.
And that's what the Chiefs are really good about, keeping Lamar in the pocket. Why can't they do the same thing against Josh Allen? They let Josh Allen out. Why do you do that?
Yes, but I think part of that, you have to fear Josh's arm.
Yes. Josh, yeah.
Where the idea of Josh running is on par with his arm,
mm-hmm.
whereas Lamar, you want him to throw the ball.
This is true. Like I said, the 10, 15 yarders, he is lethal with Flowers and Bateman and all them. You start making him throw it 20, 25 yards, he gets sketchy.
Yeah. Tennessee at Arizona.
Yep. That's easy.
I am really excited for this game. I am so very excited for this game, which makes no sense because I don't really care for either of these teams. Tampa Bay at Seattle.
That could be a good game.
That's going to be a great fucking game. That's going to, honestly, that's probably going to be the 3:00 game that I watch. That game I feel like is going to be really good because I feel like both of these teams are really good with a significant problem. They're not perfect teams. They're mm-hmm. not. They don't have everything going for them. It's a battle of 3-1 teams. They're both good enough football teams. They're going to be battling for playoff positioning. I'm taking Tampa.
Where's it at?
It's at Seattle.
I will give it to Tampa just because of the fact that I have more faith in Baker than I do
and Sam
Darnold.
I will say, and I know it's a weird thought, if it's raining in Seattle, I think Seattle's got the edge.
I agree.
Especially since Bucky Irving doesn't appear. Bucky Irving's not going to be playing. So the Bucs are down to Rachaad White and others.
They're having tryouts right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it is not a pretty sight in that running back room right now. I mean, for God's sakes, their running backs coach had a fucking heart attack today. So.
Oh shit! I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. It's Skip Pete, I think is his name. The jokes on Twitter were relentless on that. Just his heart skipped a Pete. Like it was bad. It was funny, but it was bad. Yeah, like I was like, well, if you saw that running back room, you probably would as well.
Yeah.
And what I'm also looking forward to this weekend is I'm sure by, I don't know, the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, we will have a new NFL rule. And that's going to be the mercy rule because Detroit's going to beat the ever-loving shit out of the Bengals. I'm assuming by the 8-minute mark, it's, I don't know, 46-0.
I think the 28-3 they got beat by Denver is going to be in the first quarter.
Yeah. I think you're looking at a 25-point deficit, maybe after the opening kickoff.
Yeah. Who gets the ball more, St. Brown or Williams?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. He might score more than those two.
He might also break the NFL record for sacks.
Yes.
This should be a really good game. Washington getting Jaden Daniels back against the Chargers.
This could be a really good. It all depends on how well the Chargers figure out how to protect.
How to take that offensive line. I'm interested. I'm taking the Commanders because I feel like I have to stick to the point that I've made that I think those are two of the biggest losses in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Losing those two tackles, I think I have to take the Commanders here. I've kind of backed myself into a corner there.
Where's the game at?
It's in Los Angeles.
It's in Los Angeles.
So it's a road game for both teams.
It's a road game for both teams. Yeah. I'd agree with that. I would go with Washington. I don't, unless they come up with the second coming of Willie Roaf and Shields, and somewhere along the line they come up with those three guys again. Justin Herbert's going to be running for his life because, again, Washington's got a
decent pass rush, and I don't know if you heard of him, Von Miller.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Commanders because, like I said, I think I have to stick to my guns, and I think Los Angeles is a much worse team now than they were before the season, than they were last week. New England at Buffalo.
You got to go with Buffalo, but Buffalo blinks.
I almost picked New England. I got real close because Buffalo's 4-0. It's a division game. And New England has a fucking tendency.
Mm-hmm. This will be a close game.
Yeah,
maybe until about the last 3 or 4 games Buffalo and New England played, it's been close to about 5 minutes to go, and then Buffalo's put up a couple of quick scores and made it look like made it look like it was
made it look comfortable.
Made it look comfortable, and it wasn't comfortable till 5 minutes left. They get it. They'll go up. They'll be up. They'll win it by 14 to 17 points. But those last 10 points come in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. I wanted to pick New England. I don't think they have the horses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Buffalo, but yeah, I think that's gonna be a good game for Sunday night.
I think that's gonna be a really good game.
Monday Night Football: Kansas City at Jacksonville.
Kansas City's got to cover the middle. If Kansas City covers the middle, it'll be a long day for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I have seen. I've been doing some looking because obviously Kansas City has been very good in the cornerback department for years. And I think they've done it again. I don't know if you've paid attention to who's been covering the number 1 wide receivers the last couple of weeks. Don't really, or I guess didn't really know the name. But pay attention. Because I'm willing to bet number 7 sees a lot of number 20. Number 20, Noel Williams. Noel Williams against the number 1 wide receiver the last 2 weeks has had 8 targets, has given up 2 catches, has 3 PBUs.
But he's also got that one game he had a PI and a hands.
Yep, he had them. But I think it's not perfect. Neither was Sneed.
Mm-mm. But Sneed, that's where Sneed got away with a lot with his hands.
Yeah.
Sneed was very tricky with his hands.
I think if 20 plays well, and I think our defensive line should do okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Etienne's going to be an interesting one. I know Kansas City controls the run fairly well usually. Etienne out of the backfield scares me more.
I agree.
I've got Kansas City winning this game, and my hope is that last week turned something.
I agree.
I
think the second half of the Giants game kind of turned some things, and then with getting Worthy back last week, to where all of a sudden you had to really worry about Worthy. That opened up Juju. That opened up
the unders. That opened up the middle.
Yep. And then if you put
Thornton
1 on one side and 80 on the other, and then say, go. The offensive line is starting to come together. They did. I mean, granted, Baltimore's defensive front was beat the hell up, but that left side's getting better between Simmons and
Kingsley.
Yeah, Kingsley. Yeah, exactly. I'll go with that one. Those two are starting to work together. I mean, there's a whole lot of beef over there.
Yeah, there is.
And a whole lot of beef that can run. And you start getting those three together, and then, of course, Trey and Creed still do their Trey and Creed things.
Hopefully, and I mean, Trey has not had the hottest start to the season. He has struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I mean, I blame fucking 74 for that anyhow. I mean,
because he's always trying to have to make up for.
If the offense plays bad, it's 74's fault. If the defense plays bad, it's 74's fault. If Dave Tobe trips on the sideline, it's 74. Fuck Juwan Taylor. Don't know if that hasn't been iterated well enough on this podcast. I also hate him a lot. Yeah, I think Kansas City wins it. I don't think it's a blowout. I think Kansas City's probably 10. 31-21, somewhere in that ballpark. But I think Kansas City. I think the ship is righted a little bit.
I agree.
And I hope that the blood in the water woke up the shark.
Mm-hmm.
That this team goes, oh fuck, we can do this.
Yeah,
we can put it up on anybody.
And Giants, I think the Giants put a little Chad in the water there to where, oh wait a minute, they're only a game ahead of us now, and knowing all we gotta do is get through a couple more weeks and we get one big weapon back.
Yeah.
Then what do they do?
Yep. Say I'm very intrigued on what this game looks like, because to me, Jacksonville's still Jacksonville. I do not believe that that's a good football team. I won't believe it until I have seen what 16 can do. I watched it in person.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I still believe Lawrence is a good quarterback is because what I saw in person in the playoffs in Kansas City.
Oh, I agree.
I have a hard time coming off of that take because of that game. He lost that game. He was not the reason.
No, I agree.
So until it's proven.
Chad Henne won that game.
Yeah.
Chad Henne won that game.
Anything is possible. So that's who I've got. And again, seems like whenever I don't lean into the homer take, bad things fucking happen. So, fucking Homer taking the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
It's always the mess that I always get myself into. I think with that, we are officially at the longest episode of the season so far, so this will be fun. I'm going to try to learn how to edit a podcast real quick, so we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming in and filling the seat. And hopefully, I think if things can go the way we're kind of imagining they might, you might get a little bit more of Dad on the podcast here, as, if nothing else, our fat stats and info guy. But I think we'd like to, because I think having a third in here would be helpful, even in that role. And, obviously, we can throw, not to age you here, we can throw a little more historical references in here that can land.
I can also help you with that. What's that guy's name?
Yeah. We don't ever do that. Definitely didn't do it twice last week. But we are going to get out of here. So here comes the real test. We're going to try it. I'm not going to give you a cue. You just got to hit it.
Okay.
This is the most important part of the podcast.
Got it.
So we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys. We love you. Be kind to each other. Love one another. And always remember, fuck the Cowboys. It's past.